I'm going to show you right now. All right. We're going to put an amortization schedule on the screen right now. And I'm going to show you what's going on with these interest rates, where the people who are real estate investors are under the impression that a lower interest rate is a better interest rate. And not only that, people are teaching those who have great systems. Okay. And they have dinosaur left over in their product. And that dinosaur is the old idea, the old paradigm of how mortgages actually work and what interest rates actually do to a loan, and under the impression that a lower interest rate is a better one. In fact, they're telling people right now that go ahead and purchase. You can make money in real estate right now. And for some reason, what they're saying is in years to come, the interest rates will go down and you can refinance to that lower interest rate. And I'm here to tell you, I'm going on record and saying, don't do it. Don't do it. You don't need to refinance to a lower interest rate to save money. I'm going to show you how to take advantage of the higher interest rate, and you will be able to rip up that loan. You'll be able to get your equity 5 to 7 times faster. You'll be able to cash out refi 7 to 10 years sooner because of the higher interest rate. You slow the process down with a lower interest rate. All right, folks, what I have on the screen now is a $350,000 mortgage, $350,000 at 6% interest. In fact, you know what, Kenyatta? I heard that the interest rates have actually risen to around 6.25. So I'm going to change that, 6.25. Okay, 6.25. And here is a $350,000 mortgage at 6.25. First thing I want you all to notice is this, is the payment. The payment is $2,155. That's the first thing I want you to notice. $2,155. People will hear a high, or what they assume is a high interest rate, and then balk. They will never go a step further because it's a high interest rate. Do you know there are people out there that are saying, wait until the interest rates go down? And I'm going to say, why? Because a $350,000 house could be as much as 3 or 4 bedrooms, 3 to 4 bathrooms.
And you know what else done strategically?
Talk to me.
Because everybody mostly have that mindset. You have the pick of the litter because everybody is scared. Everybody is fearful. That's when you should be courageous. That's when you should be buying up everything, understanding that it's going to change. The tide is going to change. And so right now is when you're supposed to be excited about the marketplace. You're supposed to be buying up everything you can, understanding that it will change.
Listen, you know what she just said, folks? You know what she just said? Because people have looked at interest rates the traditional way, when the interest rates get higher, the competition goes down in buying these properties. That's what she's trying to tell you. If you want less competition, buy when the interest rates are higher, and then I will show you how to take advantage of those higher interest rates. So let's take a look at this. In most cities, especially here in Huntsville, Alabama, okay, and I don't know where you live, but if you can get a 3 or 4 bedroom home somewhere between 2,500, 3,500 square feet and pay less than $2,100 rent, you're fortunate. You're fortunate. So in most places I know, you're going to pay more than this than rent. So even at 6.25%, the payment is $2,155. So if you're going to pay more in rent than that, then why is everybody so taken aback at the higher interest rates? Because they didn't do the math. We want to show you the numbers. Now, here is what we're talking about. First of all, the numbers that real estate agents talk about, the numbers that loan offers talk about are directly related to the term. What does that mean? The term on this loan is 30 years. It's 360 months. My question to you all in the building right now, if you're in the building right now, my question to you is, do you have to keep the loan for 30 years? Okay. If you know you don't have to keep the loan for 30 years, put some number nines in the chat for me. Put number nines in the chat for me. If you know you don't have to keep the loan for 30 years, put number nine. There you go. They're coming in. Put a number 9 in the chat. If you know you don't have to keep the loan for 30 years, you can keep it for less than 30 years. I'm going to show you why. But the numbers that the bank uses to sell a loan, they're giving you the numbers based on 30 years. So here's the thing. If you have a $350,000 mortgage at 6.25%, the total interest on this for 30 years is $425,803.60. That's for 30 years. So that's how you have to first look at it. But what if you keep it for less than 30 years? Will you have to pay $425,000 in interest? Let me ask you, if you rent a car for a month, they're going to tell you how much the rental is going to be for a month. So my question is, if you turn that car in after 2 weeks, can they legally charge you for the month if you turn it in after 2 weeks? Do you want to pay for a month if you turn the car in for 2 weeks? Tell me your answer to that. Do you want to pay for a month? Answer that question in the chat. All right. Or come up to the stage. Somebody listen. I need some folks to come up to the stage and talk to me this morning, because what we're learning here is a ton. So let me ask you one more time. If you rent a car for a month and you turn it in after 2 weeks, do you want to pay a month's rent? What's your answer? All right. I got online saying no. How about on Clubhouse? Anybody want to pay a month's worth of rent if they turn the car in after 2 weeks? Anybody? I guess it's okay. I guess it's okay because I'm not seeing any answers. So folks, here's what we're talking about here. Watch this. If you keep this loan for 1 month, okay, and somehow you fall into a bunch of money. Let's say somebody knocks on your door and your long lost uncle left you an inheritance of $5 million. And you just made your very first payment on this mortgage. Could you write a check to pay off the rest of the mortgage? And if you're watching this, folks, do you see these interest payments in column 2? If you make this first payment here, and now you want to write a check to pay off the mortgage, what would happen to all of these interest payments that the bank was looking for 30 years? What would happen to those payments if you paid off the loan in the same month you made your very first payment? What would happen to all those interest costs? You got it. They would go away. So the key here is, how do we pay back the loan so that we don't have to give the bank all of that interest money? So what we want to do is put yourself in the mindset that you can save interest on these loans, and it is easier at the higher interest rates. Look at this. Look at this. I want to show you something here. Look at this loan. $332.09 goes to principal, while $1,822.92 goes to interest. Isn't that ridiculous? Who wants to pay that kind of interest? Nobody I know. So let's see what we could do here. All right. So when we make a mortgage payment, and $332 out of our mortgage payment goes to pay down the loan, but the bank gets $1,822.92. That's not even fair. But they've set this thing up on what's called an amortization schedule that was introduced to bankers in 1934. 1934 is when it came into being. That's when this got popularized, using an amortization schedule so banks can charge this kind of interest, but they're able to call it 6%. They're able to call it 6.25%, when in fact, when it's all said and done, if they keep this loan for 30 years, I need you to see this, it's really 121.658%. 121% of what you borrowed will be paid back in interest if you don't know how to read this thing.
But Don has some valuable information that can contribute to the quality of a person's life. And it only costs you a few dollars. It's his book. Why not get that?
I'm going to go through the P.I.L.L method myself with some of my investment properties. So I'm going to link up with Don, and then I'm going to sit down with him, show him my investment portfolio, and see how I can eliminate interest.